Epicness, bro. Just pure epicness. What's up, y'all? It's your boy AJ, and this is AJ Reacts 2. And welcome to my first ever anime review. I am so pumped. I have recently, over the past year or so, got into anime. Man, I was missing out. But today we're here to talk about My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, the movie. Oh my gosh, just pure epicness. So where do I start? Okay, the story. The story was kind of like a spin-off or something kind of like separate from the TV series because it had every character from the original series, but they kind of made it so it didn't give that TV feel like that. It made it more cinematic. And I'm gonna say this at the beginning, and I hope nobody jumps down my throat about it. I still love the movie. The movie was great, but I felt like this movie was a lot of fan service. There were a lot of elements to this film that were just specifically for the fans. They didn't really think about the storyline. They wanted to excite the fans and get the fans engaged, but they weren't really thinking about the storyline, how it plays into the TV series, and what were the repercussions from the movie to the series. I think they wanted to make it a separate movie, and you could go back to the TV series like nothing ever happened in the movie. But there were certain things in the film that were essential and, kind of would be a big deal in the show, but they kind of like backtracked it, and we'll get into what they were later. I just want to say that this is a spoiler review, and I might be ranting a little bit because I'm just so pumped. But when you have like an epic film like this, I really want to like dive deep into it. Okay, so back to the story. So the kids of UA High School have to go to this island and protect it. There's not much activity going on there, no villains or anything. And then this villain appears kind of out of nowhere, and that was kind of like the fan service part, I feel like, because it was just out of nowhere. Like, we never heard of this character. We never knew that this character was existed. It kind of was just like specifically for the movie. And the League of Villains, which are in the show, kind of had something to do with it, but they didn't really. They wanted to just kind of show the League of Villains a little bit at the beginning and then kind of leave them alone. Okay, the fans are served that way. So kind of like that. That's how I was feeling anyway. So we got this big villain, and there's pretty much three of them. There's three villains in this film, but there's one main villain, and he has the ability to steal quirks. If you don't know what a quirk is, it's the superpowers that people in the show have. So he wants to steal the quirks. He wants to build a new civilization, which was kind of vague, and they didn't really dive deep into what his plan was, which I wish they kind of would have. I think it was just, like I said, fan service. Just kind of wanted to have a villain there, a very, very generic plan, build a new world, kind of wipe the earth clean of heroes and villains, and kind of start a new, kind of like a Thanos type plan. And it just wasn't really, I felt like it wasn't that thought through. And he had kind of two henchmen, and they were like really, really powerful, and I really enjoyed seeing both of those villains. And the team kind of had to split up to fight these like different villains on this island, which was dope. The main villain is trying to acquire these quirks to create this new world that he, has envisioned or whatever. And like I said, it was very vague. Now let's talk about the characters. I'm gonna try to kind of separate the characters from the show to the movie. They are the same characters, but they kind of used them in a different way. Like I said, fan service. They really wanted to highlight on every single kid from UA's quirk. And in a normal episode, they'll show maybe 3 or 4 quirks. And even in the first movie, they did show everyone's quirk, but they didn't really highlight on them. And the first movie is called Two Heroes, and I'm thinking about doing a review for that too. So head down to the comments and let me know if you want a Two Heroes review. So I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, we were talking about the characters. I feel like this show has so much potential to go on and on because there's so many characters and so many backstories that we don't even really know yet. We're only on season 4. So we were seeing characters' quirks that we didn't even really know the full potential of their quirk, and probably still don't. And I'm gonna get off this fan service spiel, but feel like they really wanted to focus on Midoriya and Bakugo's relationship, and it was really, it felt like fan service. It felt a little forced. And Bakugo's keep talking about being the #1 hero, and that we know he ain't gonna be the #1 hero. It's Midoriya. The quirks used in this film and how they used them was so epic. Like, I don't care about fan service with that. I loved it. I was eating up every second of it. And along with the good that we have to talk about, we have to talk about the bad. So, and about 95% of the way through this film, it was epic. It was awesome. Then they made a decision. It was a huge plot hole. Midoriya gives one for all to Bakugo. Like, that was the worst decision that they could ever make. Really, the only reason why that was such a bad decision was because they really vaguely talked about it. At the end, All Might kind of explained what, you know, happened and why Bakugo went back to normal and why he won't ever remember it. And like, that was just like, what? Are you serious? You gonna end the movie like that? You gonna end the movie like that? Come on, man. This movie was almost a 10 out of 10. Almost. And also, I forgot to say at the beginning, it kind of took a little bit of time to get into. It was a little slow at the beginning. But how they both used one for all at the same time was epic with a capital E. But the way they explained it, they used blood they touched each other and they used blood or something, and he gave it to him before he went unconscious, so it didn't really matter. And when you go back to the TV show, it's like nothing ever happened, and like it was just for the sake of the film. And I think if they made a decision like that, they gotta stick with it. They can't just go back to, you know, try to make everything normal again. But that's what they did, so hey, who am I to say otherwise? So I gotta give a score to this film. So My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, I'm gonna give a 8.5 out of 10. That last decision on the storyline really brought it down. I think it would have been like a 9 out of 10, a 9.5 out of 10 if they didn't make that decision, but I'm gonna have to go with 8.5. So let me know what y'all thought about Heroes Rising. I loved the movie. I loved the film. I had so much fun watching it, and I'm probably gonna go see it again. Make sure you stay subscribed because I got a lot more awesome anime reviews coming, and they coming, y'all. Don't worry, they are coming. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, AJ Reacts 2. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Go Beyond Plus Ultra.